We have by far the largest budget surplus in the history of the state of Florida. $22 billion.
What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and states and politicians are beginning to remember right before midterm elections, that there's literally tens of billions and in some cases hundreds of billions of dollars of excess stimulus funds left over just sitting there. And we're getting word that some are starting to tap into it and starting to send out stimulus provisions, stimulus checks, and some, wait till you see the articles and video footage I've got for you guys, some are actually not touching it at all. Wait till you hear the reason why. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, for those of you that follow me here on the channel, you know I'm keeping you up to date on all of this. Federal level stimulus checks, stimulus packages, states, counties, and cities that are sending out stimulus checks and stimulus provisions that a lot of people don't even realize exist. I have compiled a list of over 100 different stimulus check programs that are available right now. People are missing out on programs all the time. And like I said, there's literally billions of dollars, you guys. Well, I have created this and I'm going to be releasing it to everybody this week at www.reliefroadmap.com. You're going to be able to access this. People all the time are telling me they can't find information. They don't think anything's in their city or their state, and I'm finding them all the time. And it's just so difficult to hunt these down. So I've compiled them over the past couple months, every single day working on this, sometimes working throughout the night, all into one easy to access place. You're going to have phone numbers, websites, contact information, emails, direct access to forms and applications. So that way, if you're eligible, you can have direct access to relief for you and your family. Now, you guys, this is finally done. I have poured in so much time and effort, energy, money into this, and I am so glad it's finally done. I'm going to be keeping this up to date for you. New programs are rolling in. And in this video, we're going to be talking about new funding coming. And I will regularly keep this up to date so you guys know about everything. Now, as I mentioned, I've poured in so much money into this, and I'm just doing a small fee for those of you that I know a lot of people are hurting. I don't even want to charge, but I'm putting different ones. You can pick your price. The most affordable is less than $10 just to try to recoup some of the costs, you guys, but I don't think I'm going to. And if I don't, that's fine. I hope that this is a blessing to you guys and it makes it easy and there's some peace of mind for you to be able to access some form of relief for you and your family. So you guys, that's going to be launching live. Now, bear with me. I'm not a website guy. This is all new for me. So some of you are saying you're having trouble logging in. You don't have to buy it more than once. You buy it once, and then on the main page, there's a members login thing. It should take you to a page where it says email, password, or you can reset it. If you can't log in, I'm going to be working with technical support to try to figure out how we can get you access. So keep an eye out for that. Hopefully this week when I switch the URL over to www.reliefroadmap.com, we take it out of testing. Everyone should be able to access it with no problem. So keep an eye out for that. I know this is going to be such a blessing. And thank you for all this encouraging feedback I've already received from so many people saying that they can see the time, the energy, the effort that has gone into this. And they're going to be checking in on it regularly to get access to everything, you guys. So thank you so much. I pray that that is a blessing to you guys. I'm really excited about it. But with that being said, let's talk about what's coming on the way here. So take a look at some of the announcements and articles coming out just today. So Florida is one of the states, $21.8 billion budget surplus. That means in excess of everything they have to use, they've got $21.8 billion that they don't know what to do with. And we heard them announce child tax credits were going to be going out. And today another announcement was made. DeSantis announces a proposal for more toll road relief in news conference near Miami. And we're hearing that this is going to be saving everybody in the state $550 on average, but some people in excess of $1,000 that you're going to be saving from this. I'm going to share with you the video footage, you guys. Now, Florida's doing that. We're hearing that stimulus checks are going out in California. There's all kinds of programs popping up across the nation, but some. Take a look at this, you guys. Linked in the description below. States get stingy as sour economy drains their surpluses. States once roiled with pandemic shutdowns became flush with cash, only to stare down rising inflation and an economy teetering toward a recession. That is right. They're saying that they're concerned with the potential recession and inflation, so they're starting to hold on to the money instead of sending it out to help out people. Now, let me know your thoughts, you guys. I'm going to be reading this article for you. We're going to be diving into the details. Now, before we do, though, also wanted to mention my previous video from earlier today. The federal level, the Senate, Congress is back in session, and we're hearing promises of more to come, more on the way. Now, if you missed that video, you're going to want to check it out. That was just yesterday from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer touting what they've accomplished and what is going to be coming here. So that's on a federal level, but let's talk about states, you guys. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, before we take a look at these articles and the video footage, do me a quick favor. If you appreciate the updates, keeping you up to speed on everything, don't forget, take a quick second, smash the like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If you want to stay up to date, it's totally free here on YouTube. All you got to do is very quickly hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. I cite all the sources in the descriptions for you, put them on the screen, read right from them so you know it's the latest. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. That's the best way to get a hold of me by far, you guys. Don't fall for the scammers here on YouTube that take my picture and they tell you to contact them at some random phone number on WhatsApp. That is not me. Contact me on Instagram. And also, I've got a second channel getting more content for you on growing wealth and personal finance. And now that the relief roadmap, the website and everything's complete, more content is going to be coming to help you out, you guys. So keep an eye out on that second channel. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into these articles and this video footage and get you caught up on what's happening right now with excess stimulus. All right, so let's start off with the stingy states, and then after that, we're going to be taking a look at the video footage of Florida and what they're going to be sending out here very soon. So, link in the description below to this article that says states get stingy as our economy drains their surpluses. And it says, the good news, Massachusetts has more money than it knows what to do with, but the bad news is Massachusetts has more money than it knows what to do with. Democratic legislative leaders, they were hashing out a $3.5 billion economic development and tax relief package championed by Republican Governor Charlie Baker when they got word in late July of what became a death knell. Record revenues might trigger an obscure law that could send nearly $3 billion back to taxpayers. So you guys, they were thinking about dishing money out back to the people, using this excess funds to try to help put money back into people's pockets. Well, it seemed like an all-around win, right? Why not give voters even more money in an election year as well? Well, top House Democrats, fearful of a recession, they decided that states could not afford to do both and sent everyone back to the negotiating table, saying, listen, the economic situation we're seeing on the horizon, it's not looking good. We might not want to send this money out. Take a look. We wanted to make sure to be fiscally prudent. House Speaker Ron Mariano said at the time, we're going to be here when and if the economy makes a downturn. We're going to be talking about reductions in line items and potential cuts in the budget. So rather than sending it out to the people, they want to hold it in the coffers just in case. This is the financial reality facing governors and lawmakers across the country. States once roiled by the pandemic with shutdowns are now flush with cash from better than expected tax collections and one-time federal aid infusions while they stare down rising inflation and an economy teetering toward a recession. So let me know your thoughts, you guys. Money that was allocated to go out to states for them to use however they see fit. Many of them have been sending out checks, child tax credits, stimulus provisions, rebates, some monthly checks on city and county levels. And here we're getting word that some are saying, you know what? We think we might just hold on to it just in case. Let me know your thoughts, you guys, but that is what's happening in some of the states they're calling stingy. Now, Florida, as I mentioned, they have an excess of over $20 billion, and we just saw them issue out those child tax credits. Now we're getting word of an announcement that just came out today of more provisions rolling out, and we're likely going to be seeing this a whole lot more across the nation as there's literally hundreds of billions in some cases of excess funds. So let's take a look at this, and you're going to hear at the end them talk about how on average people are going to get $550 in rebates, $1,000 in some cases, as much as more than $1,000. And at the end, the feed kind of cuts out a little bit, so just bear with me. At the end there, you're going to hear him start talking about the money and the savings coming to Floridians. Let's go ahead and take a look.
One of the things that we've been fortunate with Florida is, we kept the state open. We saved so many jobs and businesses, and people have had way more opportunities. In spite the efforts of some down here to lock kids out of school, we made sure the kids were in school, had an education, and we were able to avert a lot of the really devastating learning losses that you're seeing in California and Illinois and some of these states that really perform very poorly. Our unemployment rate today is less than it was prior to COVID. And we have more people employed than we did prior to COVID, which is not true in a lot of these other states where they haven't even recovered back to where they were, particularly when you talk about things that are important in this state like hospitality, restaurants, hotels. Some of those areas in different parts of the country have not gotten even close to back. In Florida, you look at that industry, it's doing better than it's ever done, and that means people that have the ability to put food on the table for their families. It means small businesses are able to succeed, and the result of all of that, even with having one of the lowest per capita tax burdens in the country, no state income tax, and having just signed the largest tax relief package in the history of the state, with all of that, we have by far the largest budget surplus in the history of the state of Florida. $22 billion. $22 billion. So we ended the last fiscal year of $102 billion for the budget, $22 billion surplus. Now they've had to finally say, you know what, this revenue's coming in so much faster, so they revised that in August. But even the revision, we beat the revision. That was a very high revision. And so our fundamentals in terms of, having a free state, making sure we're respecting taxpayers, spending your money wisely, all that stuff, has been very strong. So we have this big surplus, and the question is what do you do with that? Obviously, we're having some away for a rainy day because, I think Biden's doing his best to plunge this nation into a deep recession. And I hope that doesn't happen, and I think Florida will be better than some of the other states. But these are just things that prudence would justify, you take precautions for. But the biggest bite has been the inflation, with the cost of groceries going up, energy, utilities. Gas is still very high. They act like it's so low because it has gone down, because it was at heights we had never seen before. And we were fortunate. It's stupid that China's doing this. They're locking down in China still. That's causing demand globally to be lower than anticipated. The supply problems have not been solved. And so we anticipate by the end of the year beyond, you are probably going to see an increase in the price of oil. I hope not. I hope we see low gas prices again. But the reality is this is something that's biting. Housing, has gone up. Pretty much anything you can think of that a consumer or a worker would have to do has gone up under the Biden presidency. And so in Florida, our budget is like budget dust compared to what they're doing in Washington. They're printing trillions and trillions of dollars, and they were warned that if they did that, it would lead to inflation, and yet they did it anyways. So people really, I think, want relief, and so we did $1.2 billion in tax relief for this current year, which is very good. Things like, we have a 5, a 4, and a 2-year-old, so we're done with the 5 and 4. The 2 still a little bit in diapers. No tax on diapers at all now, or these baby supplies for the whole year. And we're going to talk more about doing that in future days, about what we're going to do going forward to make some of this stuff permanent. We did the back to school. We're going to have the fuel tax go in. We're going to reduce the fuel tax starting October 1st, something I really thought was important. So we've done a lot of stuff. So then I'm like, okay, we have the surplus. What can we do to help folks? So the first thing that we did, I think I announced it last week or the week before, is for SunPass and Florida Department of Transportation facilities, which is not everyone, and unfortunately, it's not a lot of the ones we have here in Miami-Dade County. But for all of those, I was able, through administrative action, to institute a toll rebate program. So the commuters who are doing, a certain number of tolls a month are getting an automatic 25% reduction in rebate in the amount of tolls. We have surpluses in the Turnpike and all this, so we were able to do that and return some of that money to the folks who are having to pay the tolls. And so that was a nice relief. but it was not every single toll facility because we didn't have the executive authority to do that when you have expressway authorities in Dade and Central Florida and whatever. So we said, all right, this is a good idea. I'm glad we did it. It's relatively short term. We need to do something bolder with the help of the legislature. And so what we're proud to be able to announce today is, with part of that budget surplus, we are going to seek major toll relief for every single toll facility in the state of Florida. This will be for all commuters throughout the state of Florida. It'll be over 750,000 people that will be able to realize this savings, and that will include everything here in the Miami-Dade Expressway Authority. So under this proposal, any commuter that uses our transponders like SunPass or E-ZPass and that have a certain number of tolls, we think probably about 40 for just showing how many people are doing it every day for work, but the legislature could obviously move that around if need be. But if you are a bona fide commuter, you're getting a 50% discount in your tolls for the entire year, and that's going to make a big difference. So this will save the average commuter throughout the state of Florida $550 over the course of the year. And honestly, down here, it may even be more because some people spend a lot of money on tolls every single month. And so you take whatever you're doing, you slash that in half. I know there's some people that spend thousands on tolls, so that's going to be $1,000 plus tax relief for those folks. And so we think it's important that, we've been good stewards of the economy and the taxpayer dollars. We've been blessed to have a lot of people invest in Florida. People have wanted to move here. Our revenues are strong, and we need to return those revenues back to taxpayers.
So there you have it, you guys. That was Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida, talking about new relief on the way with excess funds. And we're hearing that this is the case all across the nation with states. Now, as more information rolls out on these, I'll keep you up to date. We're hearing that there's about $20 billion or so in Texas. In Georgia, there's excess. Florida, there's excess. Wisconsin, we're hearing about new programs that are going to be rolling out. California has $300 billion. Washington, D.C. has excess. All across the nation, we're hearing about excess funds and more programs that are going to be rolling out. And I'll keep you up to date every step of the way, and I will compile all the information into one easy-to-access place at www.reliefroadmap.com for you guys. But with that being said, that is the latest. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget to take a quick second, smash the like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. Leave a comment, share this out. If you want to stay up to date, it's free. Why not? All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. I cite all the sources. I link them in the description, put them on the screen, read right from them so you know it's the latest. And if you got any specific questions for me, hop onto Instagram, shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. Don't fall for the scammers here on YouTube that they copy my picture, they put some random WhatsApp phone number. That is not me, you guys. Don't fall for that. Contact me on Instagram. And keep an eye out on my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, where you can learn about growing wealth, personal finance, more content coming on that channel for you as well. But with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.